Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we're sitting around talking about the San Francisco 49ers opening up the San Francisco 49ers football season against the Minnesota Vikings. Week 1. This game's going to be coming to you live from Minnesota. There should be a 1 o'clock start on Fox. I can honestly tell you that I made my NFL Pick'em video yesterday, giving my picks on Week 1, and there's a lot of people out there picking Minnesota Vikings to win this game. I believe most sites have this about a 60-40 advantage towards the Minnesota Vikings. All in, the Vikings were a playoff team last year. They improved their quarterback situation. Most of the team relatively stayed. They didn't really make any big moves other than bringing in Kirk Cousins. To me, honestly, Kirk Cousins, I really thought for 2 years was coming to the San Francisco 49ers before they pulled off the miracle deal to bring in Jimmy Garoppolo to be their starting quarterback. And that, breathed a lot of fresh air into the 49ers last year. They won their last 5 games. They finished off with the same record as the Raiders, a team a lot of people were picking to win the Super Bowl last year. So there's a lot of high hopes for this upcoming season. The Niners made a bunch of moves. They brought in a lot of players. San Francisco became I guess you can say a destination city where people wanted to play. It was like the atmosphere kind of changed with Coach Shanahan. And I'm excited to see what this year is going to bring. Coming over from the Minnesota Vikings was Jerick McKinnon. This guy blew out his ACL just days ago after the last preseason game. This is a big hit to the 49ers. I mean, this isn't just something where they're going to tape him up and put him out there. This guy's going to miss probably this whole season and sort of leave us. Carlos Hyde packed his bags. He's running for Cleveland now. So I think the only running back we have is Matt Breida, who was a good back last year. He averaged 4 yards a carry. He wasn't really, breaking any records. He had 2 touchdowns on the season, but we'll have to see. I believe he was a rookie last year. What he's going to be coming back for this sophomore season. I bet you there's a lot of people in that organization hyping him up, getting him ready, and telling him, this is your time. Go out there and show him that you're the guy that needs to be carrying the rock, and we'll see. Jerick McKinnon, in my opinion, honestly, was probably going to be more of a receiving back for us. This guy, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and tell you that last year I was watching tons of Minnesota Viking football. Last year was the first year I ever really heard of this guy. So I kind of was surprised when the Niners signed him and everybody was sort of going crazy about it. I think there's a lot of high hopes on the 49ers this year. Hey, I want to finish, 500 just as well as everybody else. I want to make the playoffs. I want to win the West. I really think that, honestly, one of those goals is probably realistic for this season. I know that we won 5 games in a row last year. I know that some people think that Jimmy Garoppolo is the golden child, Tom Brady 2.0. But there's going to be some bumps in the road, and it might even come on Sunday. I'm not saying, that we've come out the last 2 seasons and really played really well on opening day and built up a lot of high hopes and anticipation for what the 49ers season is going to be, and then we've just sort of fallen in a hole. I'm not telling you we're going to lose. I'm not telling you we're going to win. I'm telling you this is going to be a tough game that we're going to have to go out there and fight for. The one thing that I want to see more than anything else, if we're not going to have our number 1 running back out there, if we're going to have an offense, we got to be throwing the football. This is something that we have not been good at in years in San Francisco. I know that we gave Marquise Goodwin a deal. To sort of give him some more money, just sort of like a thank you for what he did last year, 56 catches for almost 1,000 yards. But we're going to be needing more than just one option to be throwing at. I mean, on the other side of the football, Kirk Cousins got Stefon Diggs. And honestly, in my opinion, Diggs is probably one of the best receivers there is in football. I definitely put him in the top 10. He's a guy that I wish was playing for us. This guy averages 13 yards a catch. That's something I would love to have. He had 8 touchdowns on the season last year. This is going to be one that we go out there and we really, have to hit it hard. When I was watching preseason football, I watched one whole game. I fell asleep in the fourth quarter of another game, and then I missed the other 2. One of the things I really liked was Richard Sherman out there, not just sort of being one of the players who just, takes his jersey off and, just sort of makes some jokes on the sidelines and just sort of rolls through practice. This guy was really out there. He was getting in players' faces. He was trying to coach them up. He was trying to tell them what they were doing right, what they were doing wrong. And I saw he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated's NFL football preview. A lot of magazines, especially here on the West Coast, they got Jimmy Garoppolo on the cover. And I really think that Richard Sherman, although when he did come over from the Seattle Seahawks, I really wanted to beat Sherman, at least to be able to say we beat Seattle at 100%. Sherman being on our team is going to be a big boost for that defense. But, I mean, that defense, we've put a lot of picks into the defensive line. But other than that, we need help in the backfield. We need help at linebacker. I'm sure it's going to come, but, I'm not really 100% that this is going to be the season that the 49ers, we're going to turn the corner. We're going to be a better football team. But I mean, I'm trying to get over to the people living around the country. Not every 49er fan thinks we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Not every 49er football fan thinks that we're, a God's gift to get into the playoffs. We're going to have to go out there and win some games. There's a lot of good teams out there. There's a lot of bad teams out there. But I think the Niners might be in the middle of the mix. And hopefully we have a lot more good days than bad days. But, there's going to be days when you just can't do anything offensively. There's going to be days when you just can't stop anybody on defense. So this is going to be a year that we go out and get better. Hopefully we can beat the Vikings on Sunday. But this definitely is going to be one of those hard-hit games that you're going to know how this team is going to handle this season come Monday.